The discovery. High Commander Kira Vex of the Galactic Federation's exploration fleet stood motionless on the bridge of the Stellar Seeker, her crystalline appendages refracting the soft blue light of Earth's holographic projection. What had begun as a standard pre-colonization survey of yet another primitive world had suddenly become the most perplexing mission of her 3-century career. "Run the deep ocean scans again," she ordered, her voice carrying the harmonics of growing concern. "There must be an explanation for these readings." Science Officer Zenfall manipulated the quantum sensing array controls with practiced precision. "High Commander, I've already run the diagnostics 7 times. The energy signatures are consistent. Something down there is absorbing and redirecting our scans in ways that defy our understanding of physics." The massive viewscreen displayed a real-time map of Earth's oceans, with particular focus on the Pacific depths. Scattered throughout the abyssal plains were patches of what appeared to be complete sensor blindness, not interference, not natural phenomena, but perfect voids in their scanning capability. "Impossible," muttered Strategic Advisor Pelcor, his metallic scales shifting color with agitation. "According to our centuries of observation, these humans barely managed to reach their moon. Their primary means of ocean exploration are primitive submersibles that can barely touch the surface of their deep trenches. They shouldn't be capable of this level of quantum manipulation." Kira Vex moved closer to the holographic display, studying the patterns of the sensor anomalies. After supervising the assimilation of 17 civilizations into the Federation, she had developed an almost prescient ability to sense when something wasn't as it appeared. This situation wasn't just unusual, it was unprecedented. "Show me the historical surveillance records," she commanded. "All of them, from our first detection of their radio signals to present day." The air filled with hundreds of holographic windows, each showing different aspects of human development over the past 2 centuries. Nuclear power, space exploration, climate challenges, political conflicts, all seemingly normal progression for a young species. But something caught Kira Vex's attention. "Freeze display," she ordered sharply. "Enhance Sector 7, year 2089 Earth time." The image zoomed in on what appeared to be a routine oceanic research mission off the coast of what humans call Japan. But there, just at the edge of the frame, was something that shouldn't exist, a momentary distortion in the water that their previous analysts had dismissed as equipment malfunction. "Cross-reference all deep ocean research missions from the past century," she commanded. "Look for similar anomalies." As the computer compiled the data, a pattern began to emerge. Hundreds of supposedly routine research missions, all carefully staged to appear mundane, all containing the same microsecond distortions in their recordings. "By the first light," whispered Zenfall, his normally steady voice trembling. "They've been hiding something down there. Something massive. And they've been doing it right under our sensors for at least a century." Kira Vex's crystalline form pulsed with dark energy, a sign of extreme focus among her species. "Not just hiding," she corrected. "Testing." Every one of these missions was a carefully orchestrated performance. They were testing our observation capabilities, learning our sensor limitations, adapting their concealment technologies with each new piece of information. The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. The Federation had been watching Earth for centuries, believing they were studying an emerging civilization that would eventually be ready for guidance into the galactic community. But all along, humanity had been watching them back, preparing for the moment the Federation would come calling. "New energy signature detected," announced the sensor officer suddenly. "Massive power spike emanating from the Mariana Trench." Before Kira Vex could respond, the ship's quantum communications array erupted with alerts. Similar energy spikes were being detected in deep ocean trenches all across the planet. The perfect voids in their sensor scans were expanding, connecting, forming patterns that suggested something far more extensive than anyone had imagined possible. Multiple objects rising from the depths, Pelcor reported, his scales now a pale shade of alarm. Size and energy readings. As Kira Vex watched in stunned silence, The vessels took up formation with practiced precision, creating a barrier between the Federation fleet and Earth. Their sensors finally managed to penetrate the quantum shielding enough to realize the true scale of what they were witnessing. These weren't just warships. They were seeing the emergence of an entire civilization that had developed in parallel to surface humanity, hidden in the depths of Earth's oceans. A communication request flashed on their screens, its source using protocols that shouldn't exist outside the Federation's most secure networks. When Curavex authorized the connection, the image that appeared before them was of a human woman in a crisp military uniform, her bearing that of someone accustomed to command. "High Commander Curavex," the human spoke, her voice carrying both authority and a hint of satisfaction. "I am Admiral Helena Drake of the Earth Deep Space Defense Force. We've been expecting you. Perhaps it's time we had a proper conversation about humanity's place in the galaxy." As Curavex stared at the vast armada arrayed before her ship, she realized that everything the Federation thought they knew about Earth and its inhabitants had been carefully crafted illusion. They had come to offer guidance to what they thought was a developing world, only to find themselves face to face with a power that had been preparing for this moment for generations. The game of deception was over. And now, the true nature of humanity's advancement was about to reshape the galaxy in ways no one could have predicted. Project Neptune's shield. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in the sprawling underwater metropolis of New Atlantis, Admiral Helena Drake strode through the crystalline corridors of Central Command. The massive structure, built within an artificially expanded section of the Mariana Trench, represented humanity's greatest achievement and its best-kept secret. "Status report," she commanded, entering the holographic command center where dozens of officers monitored the emerging situation above. The chamber's transparent walls offered a view of the city beyond, where massive structures housed millions of citizens who had chosen to become part of humanity's hidden civilization. Dr. Marcus Chen, Chief of Quantum Technologies, approached with a holographic display hovering before him. "The Federation fleet's response is exactly as we predicted, Admiral. They're maintaining position, but have activated all weapons systems. Our quantum interference fields are preventing them from calling for reinforcements." Helena nodded, studying the real-time display of the surface world. For over 2 centuries, humanity had maintained a careful masquerade of technological limitation, while secretly building an advanced civilization in the one place alien observers rarely thought to look closely: Earth's oceans. "Show me the full network," she ordered. The holographic display expanded, revealing the true scope of Project Neptune's shield. Beneath every major ocean lay vast cities connected by quantum tunnels, housing not just military installations but complete societies. Schools, hospitals, research centers, and cultural institutions, all hidden from the surface world and their alien observers. "Director Rivera is ready with the historical brief," announced Commander Sarah Chen, Helena's second-in-command. A new hologram appeared, showing an elderly woman whose appearance belied her enhanced lifespan. "Admiral," Director Isabella Rivera began, her voice carrying the weight of centuries of hidden history. "The moment we've prepared for has arrived. Since we first detected the Federation's presence in 2089, every technological advancement we've made has been carefully concealed beneath the waves." The display showed historical footage of the project's beginnings, the first underwater habitats, the discovery of quantum manipulation that allowed for the creation of vast underwater spaces, the development of energy systems that could sustain entire cities in the depths. "The surface world space program," Rivera continued, "was always a carefully orchestrated show. While the Federation watched our clumsy rockets and primitive satellites, we were developing quantum drag ships in underwater construction yards. Every apparent failure in our space program was calculated to reinforce their perception of our limitations." Helena moved to a different display, showing the network of quantum sensors that had allowed them to monitor the Federation's activities for centuries. "And our greatest advantage?" she asked, though she knew the answer. "The oceanic quantum field," Dr. Chen replied proudly. The very thing that made it difficult for them to scan our depths became the foundation of our technological revolution. We learned to harness the natural quantum properties of Earth's oceans to power our cities, shield our activities, and develop technologies the Federation hasn't even imagined. A young officer rushed into the command center, her expression urgent. "Admiral, we're detecting quantum communication attempts from the Federation fleet. They're trying to bypass our interference." Helena smiled slightly. "As expected. Initiate Protocol Omega." Throughout the underwater network, massive quantum generators activated, extending their influence beyond Earth's atmosphere. The Federation ships would find themselves not just isolated, but surrounded by a quantum field that rendered most of their advanced technology inert. "Message from Surface Command," announced Commander Chen. "The world's governments are ready to drop the charade. All military forces are mobilizing to support our emergence." This had always been the most delicate part of the plan. While millions lived in the underwater cities, billions more on the surface had carried on with their lives, maintaining the illusion of a divided, technologically limited humanity. Only key government and military leaders knew the truth, preparing their forces for the day when the masquerade would end. "Signal the Leviathan fleet," Helena ordered. From hidden bases throughout Earth's oceans, massive warships began to move. Not the thousands already on the surface, but the hundreds of thousands held in reserve. Ships that dwarfed anything the Federation possessed, powered by technologies developed through centuries of secret research. "What about the civilian population?" Commander Chen asked. "Both surface and subsea." "Initiate the Unity Protocol," Helena responded. "It's time for all of humanity to come together." Begin the global broadcast. Across the Earth, on every communication device, in every language, the truth began to emerge. The story of humanity's greatest endeavor. How they had hidden their true advancement from alien observers, building a civilization beneath the waves that would ensure Earth's independence in the galaxy. As the revelation unfolded above, Helena turned to face her command staff. "For generations, we've lived in shadow, building our strength, preparing for this moment. The Federation came expecting to find a primitive world ready for conquest. Instead, they'll discover that humanity has surpassed them in ways they never imagined." Through the transparent walls of Central Command, she could see the lights of New Atlantis shining in the depths, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Soon, the whole galaxy would know what a handful of humans had known for centuries. Earth was not a primitive world awaiting guidance, but a sleeping giant about to awaken. The confrontation. The United Earth Council chamber, located in a vast underwater dome near the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, hummed with tension. Representatives from both surface nations and underwater cities gathered to witness humanity's first true diplomatic contact with the Federation. The chamber's transparent walls revealed glimpses of massive warships hovering in the dark waters beyond, a reminder of the power humanity now openly displayed. High Commander Kiravex and her delegation sat across from the human representatives, their crystalline forms reflecting the subtle blues and greens of the underwater lighting. Admiral Helena Drake led the Earth delegation, flanked by surface world leaders and representatives from the underwater cities. "I must admit," Kiravex began, her harmonic tones carrying a mix of admiration and concern, "in all my centuries of first contact scenarios, I never expected anything like this. You've managed to deceive the entire Federation for generations." "Not deception, High Commander," Helena responded coolly. "Self-preservation. We detected your first probe in 2089. We also detected its attempts to assess our capabilities for potential conquest. The Federation's pattern of guiding younger civilizations is well documented." The holographic displays around the chamber activated, showing countless recordings of Federation ships approaching other worlds, offering technology and protection in exchange for submission to Federation authority. Many of these recordings had been captured by human quantum sensors that the Federation never knew existed. "We've watched you absorb civilization after civilization," continued Dr. Marcus Chen, stepping forward with additional data streams. Each time, the pattern was the same. Technological offerings, followed by cultural guidance, ending in complete integration into your hierarchy. We chose a different path. Kiravex's appendages shifted in what her species considered a gesture of diplomatic caution. The Federation brings order and advancement to primitive worlds. We, primitive, interrupted Director Rivera, her aged voice sharp. Let me show you something, High Commander. She gestured, and new holograms filled the chamber. These are the quantum drive designs your engineers are still theorizing about. We perfected them 50 years ago. These are the neural interface systems you're beginning to develop. We've had them for 3 decades. The displays showed technology after technology that surpassed the Federation's current capabilities. The alien delegation's crystalline forms flickered with colors that indicated growing alarm. Impossible, whispered Science Officer Zenthal. The energy requirements alone were solved by harnessing the natural quantum properties of Earth's oceans, Dr. Chen explained. While you watched our crude nuclear plants on the surface, we were developing zero-point energy systems in the depths. Every limitation you thought you observed was carefully crafted to keep you underestimating us. High Commander Kiravex studied the humans with new understanding. And now, why reveal yourselves? Why not continue your deception? Admiral Drake stood, her presence commanding attention. Because it's time for change in the galaxy. We've made contact with other civilizations you've guided. Many of them have been waiting for an opportunity to reclaim their independence. We're offering them that chance. The chamber erupted in diplomatic chaos as the implications became clear. Humanity wasn't just revealing its true capabilities, it was challenging the very foundation of Federation authority in the galaxy. You're proposing open rebellion, Kiravex stated, her tone dangerous. We're proposing freedom, Helena corrected. The Federation can either adapt to a new reality where younger civilizations are truly independent allies, or it can face the consequences of centuries of suppressed resentment. The choice is yours. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Commander Sarah Chen rushed in, her expression grave. Admiral, we're detecting massive quantum distortions. The Federation's main fleet, they're attempting an emergency fold space jump to Earth. Kiravex's form pulsed with surprise. I sent no such order. No, Helena agreed grimly. But I'm betting your strategic command did the moment they realized the threat we posed to Federation power. Unfortunately for them, we've been preparing for this possibility for a very long time. She turned to her staff. Initiate Operation Poseidon's Wrath. Let's show the Federation exactly what humanity can do when pushed too far. Throughout Earth's oceans, countless more ships began to emerge from hidden bases. The Federation was about to learn that their worst miscalculation wasn't underestimating humanity's technological advancement. It was underestimating humanity's resolve to remain free. Poseidon's Wrath. Space above Earth erupted with blinding light as the Federation's main battle fleet emerged from fold space. 500 warships, the largest assembly of military might in the known galaxy, dropped into normal space expecting to find a primitive world ripe for conquest. Instead, they found themselves surrounded. Admiral Helena Drake stood at the command center of the HMS Leviathan, humanity's flagship, as it rose from the Pacific depths. The massive vessel, over 10 kilometers in length, dwarfed even the largest Federation ships. Around it, thousands of human vessels moved into precise formation, emerging from every ocean on Earth's surface. Federation fleet holding position at lunar orbit, reported Commander Sarah Chen. They're attempting to establish a battle grid, but our quantum interference is disrupting their coordination. Status of Operation Poseidon's Wrath? Helena asked, watching as the tactical displays showed the complex dance of forces in motion. Dr. Marcus Chen's voice came through the quantum comm. All systems ready, Admiral. The quantum field generators are at full power. Every ocean on Earth is now linked into the network. Helena allowed herself a small smile. For centuries, humanity had developed technologies that used Earth's oceans themselves as both weapon and shield. Now it was time to reveal their true power. "Begin the operation," she ordered. Across Earth's oceans, massive quantum generators activated simultaneously. The water itself began to resonate at a quantum level, creating a field that extended far into space. Federation ships suddenly found their advanced technology behaving in ways their crews had never seen before. "Federation vessels reporting critical system failures," Sarah announced. "Their quantum drives are offline. Shield systems failing. They're trying to regroup, but..." "Now," Helena commanded, "deploy the Hydra protocol." From the depths of Earth's oceans rose something that made even the massive human fleet seem small in comparison. The water itself appeared to come alive, forming into crystalline structures that defied conventional physics. These were the Hydra arrays, a fusion of technology and the fundamental forces of nature that humanity had spent centuries perfecting. High Commander Kiravex, watching from the diplomatic chamber below the Atlantic, stared in disbelief. "What have you done? How is this possible?" Director Rivera answered calmly. "We didn't just hide in the oceans, High Commander. We learned to understand them at their most fundamental level. Your scientists are only beginning to grasp quantum mechanics. We've learned to manipulate the quantum properties of water itself." In space, the Federation fleet found itself caught in an impossible situation. The Hydra arrays projected fields that didn't just disable their technology. They rewrote the basic principles of how their ships functioned. Weapons refused to fire. Shields collapsed. Communication systems broadcast gibberish. "Admiral," Sarah reported urgently, "we're detecting power buildups in several Federation vessels. They're attempting to self-destruct rather than be captured." Helena's expression hardened. "Deploy rescue teams. We're not here to destroy them." She opened a channel to the Federation fleet. "This is Admiral Helena Drake of Earth's Defense Force. Your ships are disabled. Your weapons are useless. But we are not your enemy. Stand down, and no harm will come to your crews." For several tense moments, space hung silent. Then, one by one, Federation ships began powering down their systems. The mighty Armada that had come to conquer found itself completely at the mercy of the civilization it had dismissed as primitive. But the victory brought no joy to Helena's face. She turned to her command staff. "Begin rescue operations, and send word to our allies across the galaxy." Operation Poseidon's Wrath was successful. The time for liberation has come. Throughout the known galaxy, civilizations that had lived under Federation control for centuries received the signal they had been waiting for. On 100 worlds, hidden resistance movements activated their own carefully concealed technologies. Technologies secretly provided by Earth over decades of covert contact. The Federation hadn't just underestimated one world. They had failed to notice an entire alliance of supposedly subjugated civilizations, all waiting for this moment. Earth's revelation of its true power was just the first step in a galaxy-wide transformation. As rescue ships moved to assist the crews of the disabled Federation vessels, Helena watched the tactical displays with a mix of satisfaction and concern. They had won this battle without destroying a single Federation ship, demonstrating not just humanity's power, but its mercy. "Send a message to all commands," she ordered. "Phase 1 is complete. Prepare for Phase 2. The liberation of our allies begins now." A new dawn. 1 month after Operation Poseidon's Wrath, the galaxy had changed beyond recognition. The United Earth Council chamber, still nestled in its underwater dome, now hosted representatives from over 50 formerly subjugated civilizations. Where Federation crystals once reflected the chamber's blue light, now beings of all forms gathered to shape a new future. Admiral Helena Drake stood at the central podium, surveying the historic assembly. Beside her, High Commander Kiravex, no longer representing the Federation, but rather a coalition of worlds seeking peaceful reformation of their former empire. "The last Federation holdout surrendered this morning," Helena announced to the gathered delegates. "The transition teams report minimal resistance. Most worlds are embracing their newfound independence." Holograms throughout the chamber showed scenes from across the galaxy. Former Federation worlds discovering their own paths, hidden resistance movements emerging into the light, and human ships providing humanitarian aid where needed. The liberation had been swift, and thanks to Earth's advanced technology, almost bloodless. Dr. Marcus Chen approached the podium with new data streams. The integration of our quantum technologies with other civilizations' systems is proceeding faster than expected. Already, 17 worlds have successfully adapted our ocean-based quantum field generators to their own environments. And the Federation's leadership asked a delegate from the Centauri systems, their bioluminescent form pulsing with curiosity. Kiravex stepped forward. Those who orchestrated the attempted subjugation of Earth have been removed from power. The Federation Council has agreed to restructure itself as an equal partnership of willing members, not an empire of forced compliance. Director Rivera, watching from her seat among Earth's delegation, smiled quietly. The plan she had helped set in motion centuries ago had succeeded beyond their wildest hopes. Earth had not just preserved its independence, it had become a catalyst for galactic freedom. But the work is just beginning, Helena continued. Earth's oceans didn't just hide our technological advancement. They taught us the importance of adaptation, of finding strength in unexpected places. Each world represented here has its own unique advantages, its own lessons to teach. She gestured, and new holograms appeared, showing the massive underwater cities that had hidden humanity's true power for so long. We're opening our underwater habitats as centers of learning. Any civilization that wishes to study our technologies, to understand how we achieved what we did, is welcome. But more importantly, we want to learn from you. The chamber erupted in appreciative murmurs as Helena outlined her vision. Imagine a galaxy where each civilization develops according to its own nature, where advancement comes through cooperation rather than conquest, where the strong protect the developing rather than subjugate them. A young officer approached with an urgent message. Helena read it and smiled. The first group of Federation citizens has just voted to relocate to Earth's underwater cities. They wish to study our way of life, to understand how we achieve such harmony between surface and subsea civilizations. And they are welcome, added President Chen of the Surface Nations Council. Just as humanity learned to unite its divided peoples, perhaps the galaxy can learn to embrace its diversity rather than fear it. The gathering continued long into the night, as representatives from worlds that had never dared to dream of freedom now planned their futures. Ships from Earth's massive fleet, no longer needed for defense, were being repurposed as exploration vessels, ready to push the boundaries of known space. In the oceans below, celebrations continued in every underwater city. Centuries of secrecy had given way to an era of openness. Children who had grown up never seeing the sun could now visit the surface freely. Surface dwellers descended in wonder to explore the hidden civilization that had protected them for so long. Admiral Helena Drake stood at her favorite observation window in New Atlantis, watching schools of bioluminescent fish dance through the dark waters. A message from the Leviathan's quantum communications array caught her attention. The first joint human-alien expedition to deep space was ready to launch. Send them our blessing, she instructed, and remind them of our motto. From the depths we rose, to the stars we reach, but never forget the oceans that taught us wisdom. As the expedition ships departed Earth's atmosphere, their crews represented the best of both humanity's civilizations and their new alien allies. They carried with them not just advanced technology, but a new understanding of how power should be wielded, not to dominate, but to protect and nurture. The oceans of Earth had kept humanity's secrets safe for centuries. Now they would serve as a reminder to the galaxy that true strength often lies hidden in the most unexpected places, waiting for the right moment to rise and change the universe forever.